I thought about posting it on Facebook because I thought it was so funny and terrible.
To all the old people.
Because he's pretty famous in our community.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so, and also if you look at the demographics of like white males being the main demographic shooting up places, like it's because marginalized communities have those support systems around in any which way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and there's also a sense of pride of like, oh, I can't work, whatever, maybe in with white males of like, oh, I can't work at a McDonald's, like that's too low for me, so obviously the government owes me something. And then they start blaming, like, that's how they get racist, that's how they get homophobic, and like all these things. And so it's just like, open your eyes, like, and yeah. But
For real.
oh yeah.
I feel like you killed that.
Oh,
You really opened my eyes up.
I really didn't.
I mean, I should
probably-
be so lucky to be married to this
Okay.
amazing individual. I mean, like, I think we are doing a good job overcoming the gay thing.
You're gay?
Shh. I mean, it wasn't a
Who's
problem
gay?
before. Honey, it ain't you. Wait, I do think it's really funny. So when you lived in Vermont, you had so many gay roommates, right? You were the only, stray.
So
Straggot.
Oh.
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 that was sorry.
And
So
Kinda gagged me there
queen.
a little bit.
so a lot of wow, I've never been Mom, I just got bullied for my homosexuality. I kind of
No,
feel,
your heterosexuality.
what I said sexuality.
Oh, I thought you said homosexuality. Oh,
So-
for my own sexual. Okay, I thought you said my homosexuality. I said, girl, when did that happen?
So yeah, I went to a college with a pretty strong LGBTQIA community, and
She got the letters this time.
I know,
Bro!
but I didn't add plus. So not everybody. Yeah.
I think we
So
have to cancel her.
so a lot of my friends were part of the community.
Yeah.
And so I was the token straight friend, and
She
there was
was
this
the token straight.
other person in the group who was also straight. And anytime like people would poke fun at me and they'd be like, "Oh, you're actually gay, Maddie. Like you're not." And I'd be
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, ha ha ha." But when they did it to her, she was like, I'm not gay. Like I promise I'm not gay. Like dude, that's the last. I would not be a lesbian. And they were all like.
If you're denying it,
Yeah.
yeah, sister, what's going on?
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, so I was
token.
the token straight person,
Yeah.
and people were trying to. They're like, "No way, no way, you're straight."
When I went to go visit you and I was at your house with like all these, queer women, they went, "Oh, so you probably," because they recognized the gay in me. And you know what they said to me?
I
They
don't.
might as well call me a slur. They're like, "Oh, I bet you listen to Charlie XCX." And you know what's just so funny about that?
You got
At the time, I was getting into Charlie XCX
my
on a very
gosh.
deep level.
Because I remember
Like how I'm feeling now had just come out like the year prior. I was recognizing real.
that's wild. Because I remember I tried to get you into her when Pop 2 would come out. In
Yeah,
high
and I did not
school,
get into her
and
at
you
the
did
time.
not care for it at all. You
took me
were
time.
you were not getting into
That was
it.
really funny. I remember that because you were genuinely like offended.
I was offended.
I was like, I
Because
don't know if
it's
I
a
like your
stereotype. Meanwhile, I have Brat right there.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
I'm
You were
very-
like, I don't know if I like your friends. And I was like, why?
no, because it needs to be said in the community, like queer women and queer men do not necessarily always get along.
But they had your tea.
They did have my tea.
They clocked you.
clocked it. They clocked it real serious.
That was even before you knew.
Oh, I knew it by that time.
No, that you were a Charlie XCX fan.
Yeah, I was just getting into her, but I was fully falling into the stereotype.
Isn't she half Gujarati? Did we talk about
I
this?
think that's true.
She's half Indian, yeah.
Yeah.
But do you remember see that clip of her when they're like, "Are you bisexual?" And then Charlie's like, "I'm so sorry, no." Like she was apologizing for it. I was just like the right
No.
thing to do.
Yeah.
You should apologize if you're not a part of the community. So you can go ahead.
So no, they just a lot of people thought I was lesbian or was like, yeah, wait until she gets through
Yeah.
her 4 years and she'll be a lesbian by the time we get out of here or
I'm
whatever.
not getting that vibe from you.
And yeah, and here I am.
Yeah.
And
This is me.
this
Now.
born this way.
I'm on the right.
No, I was doing
Baby,
J-Lo.
I was born this way.
There ain't no other
Yeah, that was trying to think what other stories I have from that.
Like one last good one.
Yeah, let's think of one last good story. I'm trying to think.
Oh, do you want to talk about? We should talk about my mom's deal with you.
Did anything happen during your freshman year of high school that was like that you were involved? Because all I can think of is like.
Wait, do you remember my homecoming queen story? Were you present for that?
When they put your name on the ballot for homecoming queen instead of king, and then like.
I did not know this.
Okay,
that's so fucking funny.
The funniest part about it too was
I'm sorry you went through that.
No, it was amazing for me. It was like I got so much PR out of this.
It was a name making.
So they made a name making generator. Like, they put all the women's name like for like the ballots for each grade, and so all the freshman girls, and then Jack Julo.
They called you
also listed on the Google form. And the thing is, I would have been nominated. I had the votes.
Yeah.
Because I went through the list. Because here's the thing about voting. All the girls vote for themselves.
Yeah.
Sorry. And then all the men vote for their girlfriends or the one they think is the hottest and most approachable out of all the group.
Right.
So no one's getting more than like 5 votes.
Right.
Yeah. You know?
Mm-hmm.
We only
had
like
it was 100. So funny that a guy was on the
ballot.
But
by the time I counted the list and I went through all of our friends, I had at least like 15 certified votes in my favor. And the best part was I missed the voting because I was getting my braces off that day. So I come in around like 10:30. Everyone's like, Jack, like, do you... And I'm like, what happened? And then Miss our headmaster at the time before, he got fired. No, he had what was coming. Anyways.
He's not dead, guys. He's in California.
Because like our Vera crossing that we used like to look at our grades, that was the reason... My name was put in there because they had accidentally put me as female.
Female.
Yeah, female in the system for whatever reason. And that's why I got on the Google forum. And I was disappointed because I wanted to run. I wanted to be our like homecoming freshman nominee.
Who was our king and queen?
I don't know. I don't know who our freshman girl was. It was some girl that no one knew. She wasn't popular enough to win the Google forum by any means.
I don't remember at all.
I was robbed. She was blonde. That's all I remember. And I was really disappointed. And I made a petition for everyone to sign for me to still be allowed and instated as the homecoming representative.
Wow. What a take initiative, huh?
Yeah. If I'm going to have my moment, I'm going to use it and abuse it for everything I can.
I'm trying to think if there's any drawn out stories. Other story I know is...
Oh, girl, tell us.
No, these are 2 short stories.
Okay.
Allie and I, that's my best friend, other one.
Okay.
You're getting a little side eye there.
And we would play the slap game. Do you remember this?
I don't.
I would slap and I'll tell you at dinner tonight. We would slap anytime we would see each other. We had rules. We would slap the shit out of each other. It didn't matter like where we were, except class. Class was like off limits.
Yeah.
So one time,
in the hallways.
Yes. So one time I was at my locker and she comes by and she just fucking whops me. I almost beat her ass because I think I was on my period and I was having a bad day. I almost beat her ass in the hallway. I got up. I was like, "Don't you ever do that again." Anyway, so. Maybe I should slap her when I see her tonight. Oh my god, that'd be funny.
Yeah, you should just slap her in public. Just like assault.
Well, when we were in Fairbanks this winter, I was like, okay, let's do the slap game. Oh
my gosh.
It never ended.
It never did. So it's continuous. Another one is the time that it was Jack, Allie, and I on the group project for our physics class. You should respond to Allie, by the way.
Yeah, I'll say 7:30. We still have to drive all the way there.
Yeah, so Jack, Allie, and I am a last minute group project worker. And Jack, you might be better to tell this story because I was not on the other side of it. But
you were a what worker?
I was a last minute worker, project worker. This was the project that I was talking about, where I stayed up. I had my brand new laptop that my dad shivved on me, and
this is freshman year.
Remember?
Because for physics,
I was sick as fuck. And so I had to like pound some VA energy drinks. Shout out VA energy drinks, sponsor the cast.
Hell yeah.
Pomegranate blueberry. And so I was so sick, and it was like the day of the presentation, and I was like, I literally just told you the story like 2 hours ago.
Yeah. And I forgot.
And I was like, I texted them and I was like, guys, I really don't think I'm going to be able to do it, but I'm going to wake up at 3 a.m. and get as much done as I can.
Okay, mind you, me and Allie have realized at this time that Maddie was not a good team player for our group project, so we'd already went ahead and did all her work.
They had done everything.
We did the whole thing.
And so, but they gaslit me to make it seem like it hadn't. So they had...
Because we were disappointed in her. Because before she was even sick, Maddie was not delivering what was needed for the group project.
No, for sure.
You know, me and Allie were the most motivationally driven out of the group.
They're both like Allie.
We were better students than Maddie was.
Oh my god, Allie and Jack are great students. They were like
phenomenal.
Yeah, I was the fucking
like we had A's and B's in that class. Maddie was getting. I had
a D.
Yeah, she had a D. The D was for dumb.
Yeah. The C was for cunt.
But not in the good way. Purely derogatory.
And so they had hid the slide from us.
Yeah.
And anyway, so I remember distinctly we were in the computer library. I was finishing up as the last of things of whatever I could. And I'm really good at group projects and winging it. And so I just had this.
What was she?
No, like.
Not
Shut up, Penguin from Toy Story 2.
Okay, come on.
So, basically,
you keep doing.
Fucking, where's your CPAP machine? Jesus Christ.
That's a real family thing we have.
Should probably get that checked out then.
I know.
And so then they hid the slide from me. I was like I was writing this whole ass apology. I was winding myself up to be like, I'm so sorry. Like, I really failed you guys. I'm going to try better next time. And they both look at me, look at each other, start laughing, and are like, we already did it. And I was like,
it's been done.
What the fuck do you mean? They're like, we did your shit. Like, we knew you weren't going to finish anything, so we did it.
We were going to pick up our grade.
Yeah. And then the other story I have is the Monica Lewinsky one.
Oh, we had to end with this one. This is our final story of the episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we are.
I'm a creative writer, Gloria.
Okay, so fifth period, was our other class together was English.
Mm-hmm.
And
him.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that one.
He was a character. We had characters in our high school.
I wonder if he's still married to his wife.
Good for marriage.
Good for him.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna check.
Okay, you should just call him.
No.
Anyways, we had a creative writing assignment. I forget what it was about, whatever it was.
I thought
Maddie got very creative with how she wanted to do her assignment.
Monica Lewinsky and Sil Blinton.
Yeah, was who she wrote about.
And I think I wrote their love story. Like, I wrote an alternate
history
of how they actually got together.
And Monica Lewinsky.
And lived happily ever after.
No, and the best part about it was we had the option to read our page in front of the class.
So everybody had gone.
No, only 3 people read for the day. Not everyone was going to read. Only a few people were going to read at the beginning of classes. We were doing either the Odyssey or something for the book we were going to discuss. So someone went first. It wasn't that good. Another person went. It was better. And then Maddie was raising her hand every time. And mind you, Maddie's raising her hand please, please, please. And then me and Allie know exactly what she wrote. Because she's showing everyone in the 5 minutes before the bell rang in class, I wrote this shit. I wrote the best thing ever. He has to pick on me. And not wanting to pick on her, obviously, because we know it's going to be some bullshit. And then it's to the point where it's the third time you can go. And he says okay, who wants to go now? And then I think me and Alex and people put your hands down. Maddie needs to go. And mind you, he has no idea what she's written. This is before we turned it on to his little where we turn in the papers on that little black thing.
We haven't turned in the papers
by
this point.
So he has no idea what Maddie's about to start talking about when he walks up. She walks to the front of the room. It's the afternoon. The sun, the blinds are down because it was so bright outside. The sun comes right, because you know the way our school was, and the sun just blared in on that wing of the school.
Yeah.
So it's kind of dim in there. Maddie walks right in front of the projector. She's lit by the projector light. She's holding her wide-ruled notebook paper because she wrote it physically. Everyone else printed. She has her thing written down. And she starts saying, this is the epic. No, because it's the epic assignment. You had to write your own epic. This is the epic of Monica Lewinsky and Sil Blinton. And then me and Allie start going, laughing. And then she only gets maybe 4 sentences in. And says, well, thank you very much, Maddie. That's enough of that. And then no one got to read any of their creative epics that we wrote for the rest of class. We just went into the lesson. I'm surprised you did not get in trouble for that.
I think I talked to him afterwards. I was like, hey, you didn't let me read my work. He's like, I just don't think it was